Let's start with some internet controversy news. Talk about Ethan Klein and Hasan Piker. They're both big creators in the streaming and podcast space. They're former co-hosts. But, with this specific situation, it starts and is mainly focused on Ethan Klein, who's facing backlash again. And this time, it was over a game that he played on his podcast yesterday.
Today, my friends, we are going to play the exciting game here. You at home, play along. We're going to play. Is it Twitch or is it a terrorist? Let's take a look here, guys. Start.
There's more to the game, but even just that part right there alone, that faced tons of backlash. With a number of people think that it was wrong that the opening image was a side-by-side of Hasan Piker and Osama bin Laden. And in fact, at a later point in the game, you had someone from H3's team, AB, even calling that out.
I don't know who made this, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the Hasan and Osama on the front page. They need
at least if they're going to compare them, I'll guess.
And so with all this, it appears that they were playing a game from a website called Twitch or Terrorist.com. And to play, you had to read quotes and guess if a Twitch streamer or a terrorist said it. And they all ended up being Twitch streamer quotes, mostly from other creators by the name of Sneeko and Myron, who've been heavily criticized for anti-
They're not even, for the record, these guys aren't even Twitch streamers, okay? And yes, it is insane to just put actual anti-Semites alongside people who are not anti-Semitic but pro-Palestinian
in the past for posts like these, which made its way into the game. But also,
yeah, Dan made this site, Destiny's second in command.
Included one post each from Hasan and Frogan, who's another creator Ethan's called out and feuded with in the past. But again, most ended up being from creators Sneeko and Myron, so he ended up closing the game by saying,
"You're right though, that game sucks."
It was just not enough variety. It didn't prove anything because all the anti-Semites was just Myron and Sneeko.
And so all that happens, but then once the clips...
Damn, I can't believe that they couldn't find anti-Semitic quotes of me. Perhaps because I'm not an anti-Semite.
Of Ethan playing the game make their way to Twitter, there was backlash everywhere. With a number of people saying things like Ethan Klein comparing a Muslim anti-war content creator to Osama bin Laden. He got other Muslim and Jewish content creators banned for calling Sabra hummus the lowest tier commercial hummus because a lot of Israelis eat it. What the actual hell? As well as Islamophobia on full display. And if Ethan Klein actually cared about anti-Semitism instead of merely feeling disrespected...
Noah Colwyn? Whoa! I gotta text my mans. Be like, yo, you made it, Noah.
He would consider what it means to represent Jewish people by being a non-stop whiny bigot. He even had some tagging YouTube social accounts to say that they're platforming racism and hate. And we even saw Hasan Piker himself responding, saying, "My former podcast co-host misunderstood me when I said in America that anti-Semitism is institutionally unacceptable, but Islamophobia is permitted if not encouraged. Yesterday, he proved my point." While that received a lot of support, you also had some people responding to Hasan.
Yeah, these are literally 2003. We're back in 2003. Anyway, let's continue.
By defending Ethan in the game and accusing critics of misrepresenting it. But again, there was also a fair share of people echoing what Hasan said, with some also noting that this came after Ethan went on his Instagram stories to call out Hasan and accuse him of only pretending to care about anti-Semitism. And Ethan ended up responding to...
Which is crazy, by the way. That was also crazy. I've stood by this man side by side and we've dunked on anti-Semites together. Myron is an easy dunk. He makes it incredibly easy to virtue signal that you are against anti-Semitism. If Hasan cared about anti-Semitism, he would listen to his Jewish friend when he expressed his genuine concern for anti-Semitism festering in his own community. First of all, friend is wild. That's that's a wild thing to just drop in there after a month of crash out post after crash out post demanding that an adpocalypse happen on Twitch. That's wild to be like, oh, but I'm just your friend, which is also additionally crazy considering that I have a shit ton of Jewish friends. None of them agree with Ethan. What the fuck? That's insane. And we literally insta-ban anti-Semitism in this community. I personally do it regularly. And for the record, Zionism has not lost its meaning. If it did, I don't know why you would say that 90% of Jews globally are considered Zionists, which I also disagree with as well. Contextualizing and offering analysis to how certain non-government organizations exist is not a de facto carte blanche defense of the way that they exist or the things that they do. Okay? That's it. Ethan doesn't know shit about these groups or the region. Their politics are ass. Yeah, he's just whatever. Ethan literally looks for clips in the Destiny Reddit. Yeah, I know. I like that a lot of Ethan's well-sourced criticisms directly come from the Destiny subreddit that he's scoured, right? Straightforwardly. And that is actually causing valid concerns. But considering that the Destiny subreddit is, routinely scouring my stream, I'm very familiar with the talking points. So of course, I don't even have to can see it to know exactly where these valid concerns are coming from, because I've addressed it a million times over. I address it every single day. But let's
stories
continue.
to call out Hasan and accuse him of only pretending to care about anti-Semitism.
Yeah. Myron's the easy
Ethan ended
dunk.
up responding.
Why is Hasan in a game called Twitch or Terrorist? Because he's accused of supporting terrorism by Ethan. That is the beginning and end of this analysis. There are plenty of quotes on the site from non-Muslims. I didn't make the site. I opened it for like 2 minutes and mostly talked about how dumb it is. We immediately commented on how we, unless you speak of French here, is carrying a lot of the fucking burden. I think it was AB who commented on how bad it was, and you chose to continue, but what do I fucking know? And this game, for the record, was Islamophobic from the jump. The idea that like all of these pro-Palestinian content creators are like automatically terrorists, like it's ridiculous, okay? Bundling actual anti-Semites like Myron and Sneeko with people like myself. Also, very weird shit. Now, a lot of other content creators on this website, Twitch, a lot of content creators, including Asmongold, have played this game. Why didn't I chirp about it then? Because what the am I supposed to do? I can't do anything about it, okay? Both bigotries, anti-Semitism, okay, and Islamophobia are unacceptable. They're unacceptable. That's it. And I will never accept it. And I always combat it. And I always have. And I always will. Okay. But the way that, you know, institutions, organizations, the way they treat Islamophobia versus anti-Semitism is different. Islamophobia is broadly accepted. Now, the reason why it is because in the post 9/11 universe, America had to do a whole bunch of social conditioning to get people primed to go and fucking destroy the Middle East. Anyway, I closed out 2 minutes, said the game was dumb because it just keeps quoting Sneeko and Myron, which doesn't prove anything. We saw why he quit the game. I don't think it was after 2 minutes. He intentionally quote retweets someone that misrepresents, lies about what's in the video, and even calls me Islamophobic for something I didn't even do. Dude, come on, man. Come on. Like, the Islamophobia stuff is not even new. Like, holy shit. It was always cringe. It was like something that I tried to communicate to him even, way back when he was like doing the, if you're a gay sex worker, you'd get thrown off the roofs in Gaza, to like fuck Muslim people on the timeline. Like, get out of here. Like, this is not like a newfound thing here. Come on.
To all this backlash himself, writing, question, why is Hasan in a game called Twitch or Terrorist? Answer, because he is accused of supporting terrorism. That is the beginning and end of this analysis. Arguing that there were plenty of quotes on the site that came from non-Muslims and that he didn't even make the site himself, he only played the game on it for a few minutes. And then also saying Hasan's post about the situation was misleading and saying Hasan was accusing him of being Islamophobic for things he didn't even do. You know, with
that's the funniest part about it is like, I don't know who Ethan is going to convince that he's not being Islamophobic when I think, you know, this is not a conversation that has taken that much space in this process, but like, come on, dude. I mean, the community that made that website is Destiny's community, and Destiny is an open Islamophobe. He's like proud of it. He says he is, where they openly say that they are. They're like, oh, they're criticizing a religion. I'm against all religions. You know, they've moved past that on the Reddit talking point.